Radio check, radio check.
Yeah, I take a cold hard look at the world now. Hold my hand out, got a plan now. I'ma help be the change cause I can now. Here I stand now, take my hand now. No pain, no gain, no shame. Work hard, play hard, okay. I think I get it now, don't wanna let them down. I'ma take the ground and speak my mind out loud. Here I go, proud of my notes. Teach them what I wrote, teach them all the hope. Keep them on the road to the dream. All I need is a team, build your own self-esteem. You can do anything, prove everything. Say what you mean and believe in your dream. Find that thing that you love, that you really wanna be. And don't give up till you've given absolutely everything. Yeah. Give me a chance now to prove that you're something. In your own head, all these thoughts you're confronting. We've all been there when you feel like you're nothing. Shut that shit down, crush those thoughts and just trust me. What's in your head now? Sometimes think you're better off dead now. Fuck that, yeah, you heard what I said now. Don't cop out, make a plan instead now. You got this one life here and now. To feel the sun on your skin and to see the clouds. There's nothing out there quite like living. Just in the simple things, watch a kid and you'll get it. It's no heaven, but a damn close second. Can always find someone new who has it much better, but can also find someone that has it much worse. Is the cup that full? Do you have that curse? Turn it all around.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you all had a fantastic Merry Christmas. I know I did. D, good to see you out there. Kingpin, same as you. I see that there's a few others out there watching. So speak up, say hi. Also, just want to point out that for a channel this small, in the last month, we've gotten 5 new subscribers. So for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Hi. My name is Adam. This is This Week in Stupid, where we make fun of all of the week's headlines. Oh boy. And I see Rich White is out there. How are you, buddy? Haven't seen you in a hot minute, I don't think. Actually, maybe it was last week. I don't know. It's all blending together. So I'll go ahead and say Happy New Year's to you before that goes ahead and happens. But this is the last show of 2019. You know, we started off 2019 strong. And then summer, basically spring, summer, I had a lot of crazy things happen, as you guys know. Spare you guys the details there, but we came back, started about 6 weeks ago. So glad to be back and to go into 2020 stronger and better than ever. And of course, obviously, none of this would be possible without you guys being there in the audience and being part of our community. Now, speaking of our community, before I get into all the fun stories that we have, so D won the contest that I ran a couple weeks ago to get us started, and he got a coffee mug out of the deal, but his coffee mug arrived to him broken, and I talked to Vistaprint, the company that I got it from, and they sent me, I'm unboxing right now, a new one as a replacement, which I have very firmly in here to show you guys. Oh, usually helps to pull that part out. See, we have a beautiful, lovely replacement, identical to what I had. His handle was broken off, but Dee said he was more than happy with the one he had, and to give this away to another supporter of the channel. And so what I have actually decided to do is, this is a preview. There will be a video upcoming probably in the beginning of the new year where I talk about a 1,000 sub giveaway, which is how we're going to do this. I haven't decided all the rules yet, but there will be ways for you guys to participate, and we will reach 1,000 subs and grow together as a community, and someone will be the winner of this beautiful coffee mug, of which currently there are only 4 in existence, 3 of them in pristine condition. One of mine may be debatable because of how many coffee stains are inside. So let's get this out of the way. Please excuse me for 1 minute. Wow, I'm now blind because of one of my lights just right in the eye. So I put that out of the way. So yes, Warsaw, we are definitely a great two-way community. We are a small, irate minority of people who want to protect our rights, but you know what? Sometimes we want to sit here and have fun. So this is going to be a little bit of a lighter episode, okay? Going a little lighter. So with that all in mind, why don't we go ahead and start talking about the very, very first story that I have for you. Man's front yard is a Jeffrey Epstein meme and Christmas display all in one. Here is actually a picture of his yard. You can see on top he has America written. So obviously this man is a fantastic patriot. You can see that these lights didn't hang themselves, and neither did Epstein. Pretty funny meme right there. And I think that was a pretty funny way to celebrate Christmas. Let's see where this guy was from. This was Kevin Gibson was the man who did this every year for the last 3 years. He uses memes that were popular during the year as part of his light design. So he says, I do this just for fun, just trying to change things up is all. So he's just a guy having fun, and he is down, it says NJ Advanced Media. So apparently 2 Christmases ago, he did something about Harambe, the gorilla who was shot and killed in the Cincinnati Zoo. And then last year, he replaced his America meme with Trump. Oh man. So I've kind of avoided some of the Epstein stuff. It's pretty crazy. I just kind of got to the point where there's just so much saturation with it and so much stuff not being covered. But suffice it to say, there's a lot of evidence pointing out that he was a Mossad spy, and he was using his perverted ways to blackmail bigwigs, etc., etc. And now apparently the FBI is finally doing its job, going beyond investigating a conveniently dead man to look into the child sex trafficking organization, and why they didn't start looking over a decade ago when he was initially busted is just crazy. Warsaw Patriot says I'm getting some minor lag. I'm Alright guys, I'm very sorry about that. Hope you're all still out there. I had to actually completely reboot OBS because it decided. Into our next story. Oh boy, I messed myself up so bad by doing that. Okay. The ACLU, now we're getting an ad. Gotta love the technical problems that we always have. ACLU calls for tampons in men's rooms in order to achieve menstrual equity. Guys, it's pretty simple. I'm just going to be brutally honest. This is if it bleeds, it leads. Also, I just want to point this out.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Thanks for the tip.
I love that movie. Yeah, Big Brother cutting my bandwidth. Warsaw, Virginia. We'll cover that again. We'll get back to that in the new year or separate videos. I actually didn't do anything with 2A news this week, believe it or not. So that's on me, because I decided to keep it on some lighter, funny stories. So, ACLU, that was silly, and we're just going to say goodbye. Now, this one, okay, yes, it did come initially from Natural News, and I do think that this website is a bunch of crackpots, but they actually linked to another story, another website that verified their wild claims that Greta can see carbon dioxide. Yes, an invisible gas. This child has a psychic power to see invisible gases. Earlier this year, before she became a worldwide icon and global climate idol, teenage activist and autist Greta Thunberg was a little more quietly in the news for supposedly having a sixth sense ability to actually see carbon dioxide molecules floating around the atmosphere from her mother. My mind is blown, my friends. The craziness of this just gets better and better. I mean, by the end of next year, if she's still in the news, they'll probably say she's a god. She's Jesus returned. Next story. No Star Telegram. I don't want any notifications. This pretty unbelievable. Dad angry over 13-year-old son's haircut, shoots barber 3 times. Texas police say. I get it. If your haircut looked like this, perhaps the barber may deserve to be shot 3 times. But I think maybe perhaps he went a little bit too far. Now, Warsaw Patriot says Greta is dumber than AOC and Bernie combined. That's pretty bad. Gun toting pacifist, you can never trust something that bleeds for 7 days and doesn't die. No, Rich, it is not from The Onion. I promise you that. Next story. F off. New Yorkers react to being named the rudest city in America. This is fun. This story came out on Christmas Eve. Can you believe these schmucks? Americans think New Yorkers are the biggest jerks in the country, according to a new survey released just days before Christmas, no less. The slap-in-the-face Business Insider study found 34.3% of the knuckleheads who responded believe Big Apple residents are the rudest in the U.S. F off, one man told a Post reporter on the 125th Street in Harlem when asked his opinion of the study. Others thoughtfully questioned the methodology. Screw those people. Half those people probably haven't even been here, said Carmen, 52, of the Bronx. Keep in mind, this is a New York Post story, which, here, we'll go to there so you can see it, because obviously you want to see it. Now, this next story, yeah, we're kind of flying through stories today. Decided to go with lots of shorter ones. By the way, I love this time of year for one simple thing. Eggnog. I love it. Now, this next story. Rapper Blueface. Don't mind the cat. Rapper Blueface accused of humiliating Needy after throwing large amounts of cash at people in homeless people LA Skid Row. Let's take a look at this. The guy is throwing bags of money. And someone people are I'll tell you right now, I'm saying this means I wish you could me. And it goes on. Now, oh my Lord. So, next story. Oh boy, it's getting loud out there. Next story. Actually, let's do this one. Apparently, we have no friends. Sign of the time: 75% of adults aren't friends with any of their neighbors. I mean, but in my defense, I really just don't like people. Half the time, I don't even want to see my friends or family or... Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. I mean, let's be honest. We're all a bunch of introverts these days. I mean, look, come on. Half of you probably look to this guy as one of your heroes. I know he's one of my role models. And where I live, half the population around here would do well to have a foot up their ass. Especially because so many of them are dumbasses. And if you don't get any of those memes, I'm sorry. You should go watch that 70s show. It was very entertaining. And you missed out. Next story. Oh my Lord. Oh boy. It's a good thing. Oh God. You know, I love how you just get pop-up after pop-up on all these websites these days. I kind of miss the old internet where that was not the case. Sex robots, so sophisticated they're given mammal status in evolution. Bombshell. So, long story short, it is one of the top doll manufacturers believe that within 5 years, you're going to see AI approaching the category of that look indistinguishable from humans and are approaching the mammal category. So who needs friends when you have your advanced sex bot? I mean, can they also be programmed to cook, clean, do laundry, otherwise act as a personal assistant? I mean, I'm just asking questions here. Just asking. Ooh, Dee does put forth that about Sam Elliott from The Ranch on Netflix. That is a great show, and okay, yeah, Sam Elliott or Red, those are both really good characters. I also like the fact that the guy who plays Red plays a character on that show. Kingpin probably in the long run, my friend. Probably in the long run. Next story. Oh, I want the news and chat. Where is it? Where is it? I can't find it. News and chat. There we go. I just pushed a bunch of different buttons till I finally got the one I want. The new setup in here has got me all confused. Now, multiple reports of UFO traveling at 1,000 miles an hour over Las Vegas video emerges. So here you go. Here you see I mean, that's pretty crazy looking, right? You know, I mean, it only looks like it's probably a drone or something. It's big, flying low, but you have the flashing lights. I'm not buying that it's aliens, but it's aliens. Side conversation you guys are having, I will keep my mouth shut, but I have to say, it's hilarious. I hope that people watching this video in the future will take time to enjoy the side chat. Alright, so now here's this next story. What do they know? The U.S. and Russia have both been developing plans to deal with incoming asteroids. You know, I've seen this movie before. All they need is Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck to take a space shuttle to the moon, or to this asteroid while jamming out to Aerosmith. And they will save the day. Get a little more noggin. Well, there goes the nog. Oh, it's gonna be a rough night. I'm out of that thick, sugary goodness. All right, next story. The year socialism became a dirty word again. About time. You would have thought, after defeating the Nazis in World War II, we would have said socialism is a bad thing, because inevitably it results in people, you know, doing Nazi things. It was a bad year to be any kind of socialist in Europe. The decline has been long and agonizing for a once dominant force, but in 2019, following popularity reached new depths and raised questions over whether reinvention can lead to revival. A decade ago, the prime ministers of Britain, Spain, Greece, and even Hungary were from the center left. Many went on to swiftly lose power, but then socialist governments emerged in France and Italy. Now the political brand looks like an anachronism. Populism has tested the ability of mainstream parties to adapt, and on some of the center right are regaining their footing. That cannot be said of the traditional left. It gravitated towards middle ground in the 90s and then paid a price for selling out. But a pendulum-saving swing to 1970s-style radical ideology has been shown to be just out of sync with the times. And that's where you see people like Boris Johnson decisively win in Britain, and somehow Brexit just went through like that. Amazing, huh? Amazing how that happens. Saudi Arabia cut loose with bevy of models and a rave. Things are loosening up there, guys. It really is. I mean, let's take a look at this. That is crazy. She's getting to dance in her Scooby-Doo ghost uniform. And I'm pretty sure those are all singles, or whatever Saudi Arabia uses. I really just wanted to show that picture just because this is Saudi Arabia here, and well, they are a bunch of, kind of just another Islamic dictatorship that kind of is pretty miserable and oppressive to women and everybody, actually. Oh, here's a fun one. You guys are going to love this. Japan could release Fukushima radioactive water into the environment. Alternate headline, Japan says F you to the Pacific Ocean, marine life, and everyone that enjoys using, the Pacific Ocean or food that comes from there. They basically, all these large tanks of water that are filled with radioactive water, they're full. They really don't have the ability to do more. So basically, it seems like all they've done for the last decade with this radioactive water is put it in big buckets and hope for the best. Because that's how you should deal with your nuclear reactor, and its waste. Come on, this is the land that is supposed to bring us giant mechs fighting in space, and they can't even deal with one of their power plants. Well, let's switch it up to some U.S. news, because I decided to switch things up and do world news first. Here's a good one. Wages for typical workers are rising at their fastest rate in a decade. Now, despite the economic turmoil and turbulences that I've been discussing over the last 6 weeks, which are very real and we need to pay very close attention to, this is awesome. Because I know I've been harping, but this is good news. Real tangible gains for U.S. workers on their wages. That's fantastic. In fact, it shows that pay rates of the bottom 25% of wage earners rose 4.5% in November from a year earlier, while wages for the top 25% of earners rose only 2.9%, per data from the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta. The bank also found that the rate of pay rises for low-skilled workers matched those for high-skilled workers last month for the first time since 2010. That, my friends, I would say is some good news when we actually are staring possible recession in the face. So yay. How about that? Let's go to the next story. Oh wow, more pop-ups. Okay, from the Daily Caller. Democrats seek to outlaw suburban single-family house zoning, calling it racist and bad for the environment. Let's read this a little bit. Virginia House Del Ibrahim Samara introduced a bill that would override local zoning officials to promote multifamily housing in every neighborhood, changing the character of quiet suburbs. Oregon passed a similar bill, following moves by cities such as Minneapolis, Austin, Texas, and Seattle. Proponents say urban lifestyles are better for the environment and that suburbs are bastions of racial segregation. Does this not sound like some Agenda 2030 much? If you're not familiar with Agenda 2030, that is a renaming of Agenda 21. If you're not familiar with Agenda 21, basically that is a globalist UN scheme by people who think they're better than us, that we, the serfs, the low, people, the ones that don't matter, they want us all in the cities so they can control us more. Oh no. How dare you want to live out in the sticks and enjoy the freedom that entails, and enjoy the fresh, clean air. Next story. Is revenge porn protected speech? Supreme Court may soon weigh in. D, actually, no. What they're saying is, let me pull this up into the chat. So, D said, low skill make it as much as high skill. What is the incentive to get skill? That's actually not what it was saying. Basically, what it's saying is that low skilled workers and high skilled workers, their pay rates were raising at the same level. That doesn't mean that the guy flipping burgers at McDonald's is making as much as the guy with a business degree, and being a manager. It just means that they both just kind of raised at the same percentage. Yes, the pores. Gun-toting pacifist. I love that term, the pores. I see that used on gun chats all the time. You know, when people make like low-end AR-15s and they want to sit there and talk about their how their $10,000 AR is so much better and gonna always function over that Palmetto State Armory one. Yes. Oh, the pores. Kingpin says, build high-rise apartments, nothing bad ever happens there, right? Okay, anyways, now let me get back to this news story. Get distracted. We have about a 30-second delay between us that, unfortunately, I cannot change. That's just part of the nature of the interwebs. So is revenge porn protected speech? The Supreme Court may soon weigh in. I personally hope that it is not protected speech because I am still fuming that this picture got leaked of me by a bitter ex. I really need the law to come down and help us out there. Also, why did you do this to me? The pain, the suffering, the humiliation. All right. Okay, so basically, this is going to the Supreme Court from New Hampshire, actually, apparently. Good job, Sullivan County. Oh boy. Alyssa Milano wants you to join her in summoning the universe in a collective meditative chant to remove President Trump. This woman, she is batshit insane. Like literally, she is insane. Forget impeachment. Actress and liberal activist Alyssa Milano has a new strategy to remove President Trump from office. A daily collective meditative chant. That one really gave me a loss of words. I mean, that is like some next level insanity, my friends. Like, I really want to know how many cats does she have at this point? Like, I mean, she's got to be setting like a Guinness, world record right there. Now, wow, we're actually flying through today. This is going to be kind of a shorter one, but then again, I kind of wanted to have a little bit of a shorter episode after, it's the end of the year. It's not that I'm phoning this one in. It's just that I just wanted to stick to kind of some funny stories instead of getting all deep and all that stuff for the end of the year. We're just trying to have a little fun here, But we still have some serious stories. Democrats brace for bloody primary season. To which I have to say...
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world on HBO pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Interestingly enough, I had no intention of necessarily even getting anything linking to Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, but that was what we found. And oh boy, I'm being watched in the outside room. It's a little loud. So watching the Democrats destroy themselves is hilarious entertainment for all of us. Nobody's watching the debates. There's no energy. Their candidates just, all they know is Orange Man bad. In fact, I think it's going to be their undoing. The left has all this fake outrage and Orange Man bad as a platform. I don't think it's working for him anymore. Trump is rising in the polls. He's actually got nearly a 50% approval rating. Michael Moore said that if the election was held today, that President Trump would be reelected. So even like super hardcore liberal Michael Moore recognizes they are not going to win right now. While obviously things could change if that economic recession that I'm fearing does take place, that could change the picture. We will see. Oh boy, next story. Mike Bloomberg exploited prison labor to make 2020 presidential campaign phone calls. Totally got called out, bro. Totally got called out. I think we could all agree that it's pretty terrible that 2 of his call centers were state prisons in Oklahoma. He has to pay prisoners to make phone calls for him. Now, this next article, we've never seen spending like this. Bloomberg Steyer saturate airwaves. Oh, it's true. So as you guys all know, I'm up here in the great state, the frozen tundra of New Hampshire, and I see Tom Steyer commercials everywhere. I can't even watch a video on YouTube without Steyer ads, and I think he's probably still polling at like negative 10% or something. No one knows who that guy is. No one cares. He's just, another guy. So look, I really think these billionaires think they can just buy their way into the Oval Office because they're going, that's what Trump did. He just bought his way into the Oval Office, which is not true. He won because he connected with the people in a populist way, and he didn't campaign on taking away people's rights. I mean, really, what, Bloomberg, when you become president, is like your first thing going to be like to ban cups over 20 ounces or something like that? Next article is actually kind of interesting as well. Democratic insiders, Bernie could win the nomination. His resiliency in the primary has caught the attention of the party establishment. So, however as many billions, however much money these billionaires spend, it looks like just a lowly millionaire, a little socialist millionaire who got all of his wealth from capitalism. Well, actually, probably crony capitalism with using his political power. Speaking of Bernie, though, I got a fun one for you. AOC tells crowd at Bernie rally, America is not an advanced society. It's fascism. I'm not going to play the video. I said I was going to play the video. I can't listen to it again, and I don't think you guys really want to either. But you heard it in the headline. If you really want to hear it, go to The Right Scoop. Find it on Twitter. The ironic thing is actually that I agree that our country is headed towards fascism, if not already full-blown fascism right now. Hear me out. We've been headed that way for over a century, thanks to presidents we've had in the past like Wilson, FDR, Carter, but Obama, even neoconservatives like Bush Sr. and W., because their policies were actually very liberal. There was really nothing conservative about them at all. But fascism, socialism, communism, look, all these other authoritarianisms, they're liberal policies, because the farther right you go, the more limited government gets. Because what you have to understand is the real factors of government, it's not left versus right, it's liberty versus power. They are always at odds with each other. Liberals want an all-powerful authoritarian government, while conservatives want maximum liberty, hence as little government as possible? Well, with that, I have actually gotten through all of my stories that I wanted to cover 20 minutes early. Probably because we didn't really dive and deep dive into any real issues. Because, it's the end of the year. You know what I want to do? I want to go drink more eggnog. Yeah. So look, I really want to thank everyone who has joined us over this year and last year, who's grown with us this year. It means the world to me. It really does. We are a small community, but we enjoy each other's quirky company. And it is, I think we do cover some serious issues while we have some fun too. So, and we get to communicate with people and share ideas all across the world because we have no friends with our neighbors, apparently, as I pointed out. None of us are friends with our neighbors. But look, this is your first time here. Well, actually, always hit the like. Always hit the like. Smash that. And hit that sub. Oh, I got questions. Let's go to the chat. Let's see what this was. Bernie is the American Vladimir Putin, or Vladimir Lenin. Look at how he points all the time and lies nonstop. It wouldn't surprise me that he's related to Vladimir Lenin, the founder of the Communist Party of the USSR. Do I agree? I don't know if he shares bloodline, but he definitely shares the same crooked, evil ideology. Huh. Y'all, once again, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing y'all in 2020. More is to come. Like I said, I've been developing a website as well that'll act as a readout. I'm hoping to launch that very early in 2020. Otherwise, I will see y'all next year.